Mr. Speaker, I think we owe it to this country, given what happened to Ojwang, given what happened to those who are demonstrating at what happened to Ojwang, to the extent that the same police are now escorting goons, we are in danger of sliding to a total banana republic. And if the executive cannot bring us back on course, it behoves this House to do so. Mr. Speaker, I suggest we establish an ad hoc committee. For starters, we have been failed by IPOA. IPOA cannot, as the person investigating police conduct, attend a press conference where the police are explaining their own conduct. You cannot do that. IPOA cannot come and tell us that they have arrested people and they are prosecuting people for murder when the central suspect has not written a statement to date. How do you determine then who should be taken to court if you've not interviewed Eliud Lagat up to now? IPOA has failed us and we must call them to order. The other failure, Mr. Speaker, is in response to what now happened, the public outcry. I read the statement of 16th June 2025 by the DIG Eliud Lagat, where he says he has voluntarily stepped aside. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing like stepping aside in law. I invite, Mr. Speaker, that we look at the National Police Service Act, we look at Section 17, we look at Section 95A. Under Section 17, the President can remove the DIG, can retire the DIG, or can redeploy the DIG. None of those can be done by the DIG themselves. Under Section 95A, the disciplinary process can only be done by a disciplinary committee of the National Police Service Commission. You cannot discipline yourself by saying you've stepped aside. What does that mean in law? Mr. Speaker, I want to suggest that this whole issue is a charade. If you look back to the questions that were asked, before you are arrested, you are supposed to be told why you are being arrested. Under Article 49. This was not an arrest. This was an abduction. And to use the word arrest, as has been used by chairman, is wrong. And if it was an arrest, you are supposed to be taken to the nearest police station. Why would you be taken 600 kilometers? And when you are taken to the station, then the OB is not recorded. At what point then are you told of the reason for your arrest? And then you are put in situations where you are clearly have been set up to be killed. Mr. Speaker, I think we owe it to this country.
Mr. Speaker, this is something that has painted Kenya in a bad light. Mr. Speaker, yes, we make mistakes, but when you acknowledge, then we can get over some of these things and even now start talking about the reforms on what we should do as a country. I'm not looking at an individual, I'm looking at the image of the country. Mr. Speaker, what we saw yesterday, immediately after this Mr. Ojwang's case, what we saw in the streets yesterday, somebody brazenly shooting at a human being, Mr. Speaker. It means that it has not sunk. Even what we've been talking about and the country's outcry has not been received well by the police force. Because if that was done, Mr. Speaker, they would not have done what we saw or instructions given out to them on how to handle demonstrators would have been different. That police officer has painted us in a bad light, and action, I believe, has been taken and he has been arrested. But for Ojwang, let us go the full haul, Mr. Speaker.
There is a need, Honorable Speaker, for this National Assembly to go beyond the issue of getting a report from IPOA and actually form a commission of inquiry to know exactly what transpired, that is supposed to be independent, that involves also everybody that is being mentioned. Honorable Speaker, there has been mentioned two gentlemen that come from my constituency. And Honorable Speaker, those young gentlemen who are actually cousins had been arrested because of a road issue, a traffic matter. They were released. And then when they went for their vehicle, Honorable Speaker, they were rearrested and taken in custody, and they are being forced to write statement. Honorable Speaker, I beg for this National Assembly to take the issue of police misuse and misconduct very seriously. Let us try as much as possible to correct the image, so that, Honorable Speaker, as my sister has said, we have to ensure the credibility of our nation is beyond reproach.
Thank you.